Lieutenant Anderson. My name is Connor. I'm the android sent by CyberLife. I looked for you at the station, but nobody knew where you were. They said you were probably having a drink nearby. I was lucky to find you at the 5th bar.
What do you want?
You were assigned a case early this evening. A homicide involving a CyberLife android. In accordance with procedure, the company has allocated a specialized model to assist investigators.
Well, I don't need any assistance. Especially not from a plastic asshole like you. Just be a good little robot and get the fuck out of here.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant, but I must insist. My instructions stipulate that I have to accompany you.
You know where you can stick your instructions?
No. Where?
Never mind.
Lieutenant Anderson, I must inform you that I intend to file a report on your behavior. You know what? I'll buy you one for the road. What do you say? Bartender, the same again, please.
See that, Jim? Wonders of technology. Make it a double. Did you say homicide? You wait here. I won't be long.
My instructions are to accompany you to the crime scene, Lieutenant.
Listen, I don't give a fuck about your instructions. I told you to wait here, so you shut the fuck up and you wait here.
Josh Douglas for Channel 16. Can you confirm that this is a homicide?
I'm not confirming anything.
Typical DPD. They don't tell us shit.
Androids are not permitted beyond this point.
It's with me. What part of staying in the car didn't you understand?
Your order contradicted my instructions, Lieutenant.
You don't talk, you don't touch anything, and you stay out of my way. Got it?
Got it.
Evening, Hank. We were starting to think you weren't gonna show.
Yeah, that was the plan until this asshole found me.
So, you got yourself an android, huh?
Oh, very funny. Just tell me what happened.
We got a call around 8 from the landlord, Lieutenant. Hadn't paid his rent for a few months, so he thought he'd drop by, see what was going on. That's when he found the body. Jesus, that smell was even worse before we opened the windows. The victim's name's Carlos Ortiz. He has a record for theft and aggravated assault. According to the neighbors, he was kind of a loner. Stayed inside most of the time. They hardly ever saw him.
Well, stayed easy and wasn't worth calling everybody out in the middle of the night. Could have waited till morning.
I'd say he's been there for a good 3 weeks. We'll know more when the coroner gets here. There's a kitchen knife over here. Probably the murder weapon.
Any sign of a break-in?
Nope. The landlord said the front door was locked from the inside. All the windows were boarded up. The killer must have gone out the back way.
What do we know about his android?
Not much. The neighbors confirmed he had one, but it wasn't here when we arrived. I gotta get some air. Make yourself at home. I'll be outside if you need me.
Is perfect. It's way too neat. No human writes like this. Chris, was this written in the victim's blood?
I would say so. We're taking samples for analysis.
Red ice. Seems our friend Carlos liked to party. Chris, I want full analysis on the narcotics.
Consider it done, Lieutenant. Hey, Mike, you finished taking samples there?
Yeah, that's it.
28 times.
Yeah. Seems like the killer really had it in for him. Door was locked from the inside. Killer must have gone out this way.
There are no footprints apart from Officer Collins' size 10 shoes.
Well, this happened weeks ago. Tracks could have faded.
No, this type of soil would retain a trace. Nobody's been out here for a long time. Lieutenant, I think I figured out what happened.
Oh, yeah? Shoot, I'm all ears.
It all started in the kitchen.
There are obvious signs of a struggle. The question is, what exactly happened here?
I think the victim attacked the android with the bat.
That lines up with the evidence. Go on.
The android stabbed the victim.
So the android was trying to defend itself, right? Okay, then what happened?
The victim fled to the living room.
And he tried to get away from the android. All right, that makes sense.
The android murdered the victim with the knife.
Okay. Your theory's not totally ridiculous, but it doesn't tell us where the android went.
It was damaged by the bat and lost some therium.
Lost some what?
Therium. You call it blue blood. It's the fluid that powers androids' biocomponents. It evaporates after a few hours and becomes invisible to the naked eye.
Oh. bet you can still see it, can't you?
Correct.
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing with that chair?
I'm going to check something.
I'm gonna check something.
I was just defending myself. He was gonna kill me. I'm begging you. Don't tell him.
Connor, what the fuck is going on up there?
It's here, Lieutenant!
Oh, shit. Chris, Ben, get your asses in here now! Come on!
All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm Mountie Curl. This is episode 6 of Detroit Become Human, and I'm going to go ahead and discuss the choices made during this chapter, but only just glossing over it, because as you can see, all of my choices were pretty much the same choices everybody else made. There wasn't a whole lot of choices to be made during this one, except for one very important choice, and this is where the game it actually made me mad until I realized what it was kind of doing. And in that, it made me realize that this is a much deeper game than anyone is actually giving credit for, and really analyzing it in and of itself. So as you notice, all of my choices are above 90%, meaning that they don't give very many choices because it's an investigation scene. But the one choice that could have come down to an emotional decision by the player was actually at the end when you find the deviant. And they actually ripped that choice away from you. And it made me upset the first time, but I realized that Connor's mission is to be an android and to finish the mission. And by removing that choice, it is a very android decision to be made to turn him in. And so they remove that human emotional decision from the player, because most players probably wouldn't have turned the deviant in at that point. But that wouldn't have been what Connor would have done at this episode, or at this point in his journey toward wherever it is that Connor's going. So I just want to go ahead and put that out there, that this was a big decision and it was kind of taken away. And I know a lot of gamers probably were upset at that they could have had the choice. There could have been a choice whether to turn the deviant in or to not turn him in and leave him in the attic. But they went ahead and turned him in, and that was a very android thing to do. As you'll see in some of Connor's next choices that he makes, it's going to be very non-emotional response choices. And they, as the human, you playing the game, they've given you the choice over the android to make emotional responses for him. That's what makes the deviancy. That's where people are missing the point of being able to make choices for these androids, is that the reason why you're able to make choices for Kara, able to make choices for Markus, is because they're already deviants. Markus is not yet a deviant in this respect, so you cannot make the emotional choices for him. Thus, this choice is not yours to make. It is Connor's to make, and that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this chapter. I'm hoping you're enjoying the analysis that I'm giving you into what I'm seeing here. I do enjoy it myself. I enjoy going back and actually, picking these things apart, because they're actually a little bit more interesting the second time through, and especially when you see other people doing different playthroughs with them. So giving my perspective on this, if you haven't played this game, you probably don't want to go much further, because we get into the story where, it's actually giving you ideas as to the story and where it's going, and spoilers and stuff like that. And if you want to play the game, make your own choices, this is not the way to go, because making your own choices is actually going to lead you down another path. Now, with that said, thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping to have episodes 7 and 8 up tomorrow. We will see. I guarantee that, well, actually, this will be up tomorrow, but this will be whatever time it is now for you. It's going to be up, and then the 7 and 8 will follow, and then we'll just keep rolling these out. So, and I'm going to do, if there's a longer episode of 7 or 8, I'm going to do a separate podcast so you guys can actually go through and play it when you're on your way to work, and we'll discuss all of these things as to what's going on behind the scenes, why the decisions are being made, and go from there. So thank you so much. Hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe for more awesome Detroit Become Human. The story is taking shape as we go ahead and shape it, and I'm very excited to bring you guys the next couple of chapters as things start to ramp up toward the climax, and we'll just go from there. So thank you very much. I've been Manny Carl for Pause Screen Media, and we'll catch you guys in the next episodes. Unpause.